1920, Spain was a constitutional monarchy under Alfonso VIII, but it was inefficient and corrupt. Ever since Spain lost her many colonies like Cuba and the Philippines in 1898, the Spanish economy crumbled. Workers were either unemployed or worked under poor conditions for poor wages. There was over 2.5 million landless bracos. These bracos were almost all close to starvation. The political government was always in a heat or a standstill, as there were so many different parties, all with their own views. Mainly there were supporters of communism who wanted the Soviet way of life, socialists who wanted a stronger control of the Spanish economy, or anarchists who wanted to abolish monarchy altogether. At this time, Spain was a political mess. Only 3 years earlier, in 1917, there was a general strike, crushed by the army. And over the next 6 years, Spain saw 12 different governments walk in and out of the parliament buildings.
In 1923, it was agreed by Alfonso that General Primo de Rivera would take control as a military dictator of Spain. He introduced many public work projects. He irrigated land, built roads and highways, and enhanced the power grid. And during his time, industrial production tripled in Spain. Eventually though, the Depression hit, and it hit hard. Unemployment rose, and Rivera couldn't sort out the financial problem. He lost support of the military and was forced to resign.
In July 1936, everything changed when General Francisco Franco received help from the British, whom hated the communists. They took him out of the Canary Islands, where he had been banished to, and brought him over to Morocco, where he regrouped with his loyal military and invaded his own country of Spain. Finally, the Republican government decided to declare war on the rebelling armies, and the Spanish Civil War had begun. At first, the great powers of the world had decided not to take action by signing a non-intervention agreement. But then, the fascist leaders Mussolini and Hitler broke their word and began sending military aid to Franco and his fascist army. This made the Soviets feel justified to send in their own military aid to the Republicans. The other powers did not take sides, yet they traded with both sides. And although Canada and the United States didn't declare war, they did send international volunteer brigades. People who felt this war needed to end fascist-free volunteered and fought for the Republicans, whether they were trained soldiers or not. No one committed like the fascists and the communists did, though. Germany, Italy, and the Soviet Union used the Spanish Civil War as a way to test out their own new weapons in live combat. Germany's new Air Force, or Luftwaffe, was sent in with 10,000 German soldiers. The Russians quickly withdrew their aid, and the fascists marched in like a steamroller. The anarchist way was strong in the Republican Army, and that led to poor organization and confused loyalties of who was leading and when. The nationalists, on the other hand, knew their leader was Franco. He was a strong and strict leader with the discipline and knowledge of being a military general. His army was all soldiers who fought hard to reform their country into a proud Spanish fascist state. This gave the nationalists a sharp edge on the Republicans, and by the end of 1937, Franco controlled most of Spain. However, he did not hold Bilbao or Barcelona, which were the most industrialized areas of Spain. Neither did he control the capital Madrid and its surrounding area. He did, however, have these three territories isolated from each other, and they were unable to support one another. By the end of 1938, Franco had conquered Bilbao, and then just 2 months later, Barcelona fell as well. Only 1 more month after that, the capital Madrid and the rest of Spain surrendered to their fascist future.